Thank you, Mr.
Clegg
Speaker.
said he'd campaign for a yes vote.
First of all, let me be as frank and as clear as I can be. We had a meeting of the Joint Ministerial Council yesterday with representatives of all the devolved assemblies and governments. I want to have a genuine respect agenda between the UK government and all those administrations. We've always said, I'll tell you exactly what that means. That means there will be a referendum on extra powers for the Welsh Assembly. That referendum, we believe, should take place next year. If the honourable gentleman shakes his head, but if he wanted to have a referendum earlier, the last Secretary of State could have actually pushed it through earlier, and he didn't. So I have to tell him that referendum will take place. It will be a matter for people in Wales to decide. They must determine the future. As for my view, as someone who spends a lot of time in Wales, has great respect for people in Wales, I always find that, yes, there is a debate about powers for the Assembly, but there's also a debate of people in Wales wanting to know how we're going to make progress on housing, on healthcare, on schools, on jobs, the real issues, as well as just the institutional ones.
Tim Farron. Tim Farron.
Mr. Speaker, apologies. In associating myself also with the remarks the Prime Minister rightly made about the dreadful shootings in Cumbria last week, may I also pay tribute to the emergency services and indeed to all of those who are recovering from that appalling tragedy. But on another matter, the Prime Minister will be aware that the National Cancer Reform Strategy states that nobody should, no cancer patient should have to travel more than 45 minutes to receive radiotherapy treatment. Last December, we received a commitment from our local health trusts that there would be a new cancer unit for South Lakeland in Kendal. Will the Prime Minister agree to meet with me and with health campaigners and NHS officials soon to try and ensure that he also makes a commitment, to the delivery of a cancer unit?
We really must have shorter questions.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. First of all, he will note that in the coalition agreement, I'm glad to remind everyone, we are protecting NHS spending. There will be real increases in NHS spending under this government year on year on year. I absolutely understand the concerns that there are about wanting to keep services local to people. I know that's the case in Lakeland. It's also the case with the case of the West Cumberland Hospital as well. I'm very happy to ensure there's a meeting between the Health Secretary and the Honourable Member to discuss this and to make sure we keep services local. A lot of the reconfigurations that took place under the previous government caused an enormous amount of pain and unease in local areas and didn't actually lead to improved services.
Harriet Harman.
Mr. Speaker,